This story is called Babushka Baba Yaga, and it's written by Patricia Polacco, one of my favorite authors. And I'm wearing a babushka today. So a babushka can mean a scarf that you wear over your head, and this is my grandma's babushka that she wore when she was alive. But babushka can also mean grandma. And in this story, Babushka means grandma. And Baba Yaga is kind of a woodland creature. And there she is. She was kind of a creature that they told stories about her. And sometimes the stories were very mean, that she was supposed to be a mean person. So this is really a good story about not judging others by what you hear. So it's called Babushka Baba Yaga. She was the last of her kind, a creature of legends, a being of the forest. She ruled her woods alone. She ate alone, and she slept alone. Her loneliness made more bitter by the stories that were told of her. Stories of the terrible, vicious, horrible Baba Yaga. And so she watched sadly from afar as the people of the nearby village celebrated the seasons of their lives together, kept holidays together, and rejoiced at weddings. Most of all, they pleasured at the birth of their young. How her arms ached just to hold a little one, if only for just a moment. How she longed to have a young one of her very own. But she was old now and knew that it would never be. Many mornings the babushkas bustled by her forest with their grandchildren. Here you can see all the babushkas, and see they're calling babushkas grandmas. And here's Baba Yaga just watching them, wishing she could be a babushka or a grandma just like them. I wish I had a grandchild, she would say to herself. Then one day, as she came closer to the dasha of the babushkas, she saw some of the clothes hanging on the clothesline. I shall borrow these, thought Baba Yaga. I will be a babushka instead of a Baba Yaga. Oh, so she's got a plan. She wants to borrow those clothes. She looked at the reflection of herself in the stream. I shall have to scrub the forest off from my skin, cut my fingernails, comb my hair. Oh, but my ears! See, she's got funny ears, pointed ears. But my ears, she said with a sigh. What will I do about my ears? Then she remembered the babushkas always wore a scarf, just like mine. She carefully dressed herself. Yes, she said with glee, I look just like a babushka. She bade the creatures of the forest a fond goodbye. I'm going into the village. She beamed. Beamed is another word for just smiling, so happy. Beamed. Look at, she looks just like a babushka or a grandma. As she entered the village, she was warmly greeted by the other babushkas, sitting under the shade tree in the center of the square. Come, sit with us, one of them said. Baba Yaga smiled. No one recognized her. They showed her a brand new baby that had been just born that morning. Oh, this is my new grandchild, one proud babushka chirped. Oh, and this is my Masha. Oh, isn't she dear? One after another, the babushkas shared their babies with her. Just then, Natasha and her little son, Victor, passed by them. One of the babushkas whispered, Too bad. That little one has no babushka to care for him while his mother works. As they went on admiring the other babies, Baba Yaga walked right after Natasha and Victor. She followed them down the road and into their little house. We're going to see what's going to happen. Old one, Natasha greeted her cheerfully. How is it that you are here? Perhaps you can help me, Baba Yaga said. I am new in the village and quite alone. I need a place to stay. I can cook, clean, and take care of your son for you. I have no money to pay you, Natasha answered sadly. I need no money. All I will need is a place to rest my old head, and perhaps a little food. Then you shall indeed stay with us, old one. I kiss your eyes, and I hold you in my heart, Baba Yaga said happily, and stay she did. Look at, they're all excited. The little boy Victor will have a babushka. Oh, how happy she was. When Natasha went to work in the morning, she and Victor cleaned the little house together. When all of the tasks were done, Baba Yaga took Victor to the edge of the woods. This was her favorite part of the day. She pulled Victor into her lap. As she cradled him there, she told him wondrous tales and legends of the great forest. She sang him songs that he had never heard before. Then they would just sit together and daydream without any words at all. As time passed, their love for each other grew and grew. Baba Yaga took as much pride in Victor's life as a real grandmother would. She was well loved in return, and she had earned her place with all of the other grandmothers under the shade tree in the village square. Baba Yaga was happy and content with her new life. Look at, they're sitting and telling stories. Then one day, as the babushkas gathered, they started telling stories to the children. One spoke of Ivan Tsarevich, the gray wolf and the firebird. Another told the tale of Sister Alanushka and Brother Ivanushka. They all laughed. Ha ha ha. Then one of them rose from her seat, her eyes narrowed, and her voice hissed as she unfolded the legend of the horrible, wicked Baba Yaga. She eats babies. Oh my, the woman said as they all stared in wide-eyed amazement. She flies through the air on an old stump and casts spells. She comes out of the forest and takes children in the dead of the night, warned another. She is ugly, a hag, evil, and hateful. Yet another one sang out. And if you don't behave, she'll come and get you, one said to Victor as he hugged close to Baba Yaga. Oh, they're telling stories about Baba Yaga. Oh, and she's not like that at all. No. That night, when she put Victor to bed, he cried himself to sleep. He was so scared. Baba Yaga tried to calm him, but in her whole heart was heavy and sad, because those were stories about her. There was only one thing to do. It was to go back home, to her home in the forest, before Victor learned who she really was. She left a note for Victor and his mother saying, I kiss your eyes, I hold you in my heart, and my beloved ones, I will never forget your kindness. Signed, your babushka. She left, never to return. Oh, how sad. For a very long time, Victor went to the edge of the forest alone every day. It helped him to remember his babushka, whom he missed so. Then one day, as he sat, he saw yellow, evil eyes peering at him from the deep blackness of the forest. When he could make out the shapes, they went with the evil burning in the eyes. He saw that the eyes belonged to a pack of wolves. He screamed for help, but he was soon surrounded by them. The villagers came running, but the wolves snapped at them and snarled when the villagers tried to get close to Victor. "Oh, please," his mother cried. "Someone help my baby!" "Oh no, what's going to happen to Victor?" "All the wolves are around." At that very moment, the trees parted, and out of the forest crashed a fearsome figure, snarling and gnashing at her teeth at the wolves. "The Baba Yaga!" The crowd screamed. The creature eyed them menacingly as it sprang like a cat at those savage wolves. The wolves scattered. They all ran. Then the creature moved closer to the child, who was howling with fright. "Oh no!" When the gnarled hands, gnarled means that they're all bent, the gnarled hands reached for the boy, his mother screamed, "Oh!" A voice from the crowd said, "The Baba Yaga is going to eat him!" Oh! As the creature snatched the child from the ground, the villagers gasped with horror. With a loud smack, it kissed the child, then smiled through eyes brimming with tears. The weathered arms held the boy close and rocked him so gently. Although she didn't look the same, Victor knew that warm hug well. "Babushka!" Victor cried, and he hugged her back. There was a great celebration in the village that night for a very unusual babushka. There were flowers given, bread and salt offered, and some songs were sung and dances were danced. One of the babushkas moved close to her and took Baba Yaga's hands and called out, "Those who judge one another on what they hear or see and not what they know in their hearts are fools indeed." "Hear, hear!" the mayor sang out as everyone cheered. Baba Yaga smiled and accepted with grace their tributes. For the rest of her days she kissed many eyes and held scores of hearts in her good keeping. She was spoken of in the highest regard and well loved. From that time on, she was known as Babushka Baba Yaga. Babushka Baba Yaga, written by Patricia Polacco. What a wonderful story about not looking at how people look, but knowing how you feel in your heart and being kind to everyone. Wonderful story about being kind to everyone.